From the moment it was first hypothesized until now, black holes have captured the human imagination and inspired countless hours of speculation and curiosity. For many people, falling into a black hole means certain death. And while that may be true, it is also an opportunity to learn more about one of the most enigmatic objects in the entire universe. We've all heard Billie Eilish's song about it, but what does actually happen if you fell into a black hole? Would you be turned into spaghetti? Would you be able to come back? Would time stop? If you're ready to have your mind blown, here's what would happen if you fell into a black hole. To understand what happens when you fall into a black hole, it helps to first understand what exactly a black hole is. At its simplest, a black hole is a region of space from which nothing can escape. Once something crosses the event horizon, the boundary around a black hole from which there's no return, it's doomed to be pulled into the center of the black hole where it will be destroyed. But don't worry, we're not going anywhere near the event horizon in this video. What happens if you fall into a black hole? You won't fall forever. Eventually, you'll hit the singularity. The singularity is the point at the center of a black hole where all the matter that has been pulled in is crushed together. It's thought that the singularity is infinitely dense, meaning that everything that falls into a black hole is crushed together into an incredibly small space. If you somehow manage to survive the journey through the black hole, you wouldn't for long. Even if you could survive the crushing pressure and the intense heat, you wouldn't be able to survive the radiation. Black holes are surrounded by a region called the ergosphere. The ergosphere is a region outside the event horizon where space is distorted in such a way that even light can't escape. This is because the gravity of the black hole is so strong that it creates a drag force that prevents anything from escaping. This drag force causes the particles in the air to be pulled in different directions, creating an incredibly chaotic environment. These particles collide with each other, creating an enormous amount of radiation. This radiation is deadly to any form of life we know of. You probably already knew this, but black holes are not actually holes. They are incredibly dense regions of space that have collapsed in on themselves. When a star dies, it can collapse in on itself, creating an incredibly dense object known as a black hole. The boundary of a black hole is called the event horizon. Once something crosses the event horizon, it can never come back out again. This is because the gravity of the black hole is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape its grasp. Anything that enters a black hole is pulled towards its center and eventually reaches a point where it can't escape. This is known as the singularity. There's a lot we don't know about black holes, but one thing is for sure, once you fall in, there's no coming back. So what exactly is a black hole? Black holes are one of the most mysterious objects in the universe. They are regions of space where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape. Black holes are formed when massive stars collapse at the end of their lives. When a star runs out of fuel, it can no longer produce the energy needed to support itself against the force of gravity. As a result, the star collapses in on itself. If the star is massive enough, this collapse continues until a black hole is formed. Black holes are incredibly dense and have a powerful gravitational pull. This pull is so strong that nothing can escape from them. This includes light, which is why black holes appear black. Now that we know what a black hole is, let's imagine what would happen if you fell into one. When you approach the black hole, you would notice the sky become darker and darker. This is because the black hole's gravity will be pulling all the light away from you. You would feel a strong force pulling you towards the center of the black hole. This is the gravitational pull of the black hole. As you got closer to the black hole, the gravitational pull will become stronger and stronger. At some point, the gravitational pull will become so strong that it will be impossible for you to escape. You will cross the event horizon and enter the black hole. One of the most fascinating things about black holes is the concept of the event horizon. This is the boundary around the black hole beyond which nothing can escape. If you cross the event horizon, you will be pulled into the black hole and there will be no way out. But what would happen to you once you cross the event horizon? What would you see, hear, feel? Would you be stretched into a thin noodle by the immense gravity of the black hole? Or would you be crushed into a pancake? The good news is that you wouldn't be stretched or crushed. In fact, nothing would happen at all. That is because the only way to know if you've crossed the event horizon is by looking back at the universe you came from. But if you did that, you would see nothing but darkness. This is because the black hole's gravity will be pulling all the light away from you. So you wouldn't be able to tell that you were falling into a black hole. You would only know it when it was too late. Now, you might be wondering what would happen if you looked at a clock as you approached the black hole. As you got closer to the black hole, the clock will begin to slow down. This is because the gravity of the black hole distorts space and time. Near the event horizon, time would pass much more slowly than it would on Earth. In fact, if you were to cross the event horizon and watch the clock, you would see it stop completely. But what would happen if you stopped looking at the clock and instead looked at the black hole itself? As you got closer to the black hole, you would see it become larger and larger until it filled your entire field of view. The light from the stars around you would be distorted and stretched until it became a thin line. Then everything will go black. The most famous black hole in the universe is the one at the center of our Milky Way galaxy. This black hole, known as Sagittarius A star, has a mass of about 4 million suns. It's about 26,700 light years away from Earth, so you wouldn't have to worry about falling into it anytime soon. But what if you could travel to another galaxy that had a black hole at its center? Let's say you decided to take a trip to the Andromeda galaxy, which has a black hole with a mass of about 60 trillion suns. You would only need to travel about 2.5 million light years. Once you arrived at the Andromeda galaxy, you would feel a strong gravitational pull. You would also see stars that were much brighter than the stars in our galaxy. That's because the stars in the Andromeda galaxy are much closer together. You would also see a lot of dust and gas, which is being pulled in by the black hole at the center of the galaxy. As you got closer to the black hole, the gravitational pull will become stronger and stronger. At some point, you would cross the event horizon and fall into the black hole. You wouldn't be able to escape. Nothing could. As you approach the black hole, you would see the stars around you begin to stretch and distort, creating a spectacular light show. This is due to the intense gravitational pull of the black hole, which bends the light around it. This phenomenon is called gravitational lensing. You would also feel the gravitational pull of the black hole on your body, and it would start to stretch you out like a piece of spaghetti. This is because the gravity of the black hole is so strong that it overcomes the forces that hold your body together. However, before you were completely stretched out, you would be pulled into the black hole and crushed to a pancake. At the center of a black hole, there's a region called the singularity. This is the point where all the matter that has been pulled into the black hole is crushed together. The singularity is thought to be infinitely dense, which means that everything that falls into a black hole is crushed together into an incredibly small space. As you approach the singularity, you will feel the crushing pressure of the black hole's gravity. This pressure will be so strong that it will crush you into a pancake. At the same time, you will be pulled towards the singularity. This would happen so quickly that you wouldn't have time to react. Before you knew it, you would be at the bottom of the black hole, crushed to a pancake and completely destroyed. So there you have it, a glimpse into the terrifying yet awe-inspiring world of black holes. If you ever find yourself falling into one of these cosmic giants, just remember to embrace the journey and enjoy the ride. Who knows what wonders and mysteries await you at the bottom of the black hole? What do you think would happen if you fell into a black hole? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more exciting space explorations. Until next time, keep looking up and keep exploring the cosmos. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling journey to the edge of space and time. If you're as fascinated by the mysteries of the universe as we are, be sure to subscribe for more updates. We've got a whole galaxy of adventures waiting for you. From unraveling the secrets of black holes to exploring distant planets and meeting new alien species, the possibilities are truly endless.